Okay, we're back. And we're going to actually finish depths. Intended to do that last time, but the video was running a little long, and, well, things are just taking a little bit longer on this Gnoll than than I anticipated. And that's normal, I think. I think it's pretty normal for this to take a while, considering just the way that Gnolls are. You kind of have to play them as hybrids, and hybrids, they're kind of inherently questionable, maybe like, I don't want to say weak, but vaguely fragile. Honestly, hybrids feel fragile to me in a way that pure casters are not, because they have to end up in melee half the time, but they also can't just erase things in one shot as easily as a pure caster could. So it's kind of the worst of both worlds, even if it's also the best of both worlds, if that makes sense. There are downsides and upsides. Whoa! I am fascinated. What a tiny depths one. Wow, I read a magic mapping just to see if I'm crazy. Turns out this is the entire floor. It's like a mini floor. Some scale mail I might as well try out. By the way, it turns out that all of my shenanigans where I was trying to use minus Tella all the time, it's for naught. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not exactly pointless, but what I'm trying to say is that Zot traps can still teleport you, even if you have minus Tella on. So it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. I mean, it's still not a bad idea to go hunting for it, I suppose, but because you're gonna be able to block actual teleport traps. Okay. But it better be something that you can swap off, because you might get teleported anyway by Zot trap. And now you're wearing a minus Tella item. So that's something to keep in mind. That almost tells me that, well, it does tell me that, unfortunately, I guess that on any character you kind of have to, you don't have to, but you would like to do the ludicrous mark every single square nonsense. Which seems kind of miserable to me. It also occurred to me that you might just wait around, and then you're reasonably sure that there's no trap, because I think it works this way. The more time you spend around a square, that's like every turn that you spend in line of sight of a square is a turn where you get a chance to recognize that it's a trap. I'm like 99% sure it works that way for regular traps. I don't know if Zot traps are some sort of exception to this, but I believe that's pretty much how it works. So standing around might be an option, but here's the really messed up thing, and here is why I don't understand why Zot traps still exist. It seems exceptionally dumb. Zot traps have that unfortunate effect of, if something else hits the Zot trap and you're within line of sight of it, you know, it still goes off and it still might affect you. So using butterflies or something to map things out for you doesn't even do it. So literally every step you take in Zot could send you into a lung surrounded by, I don't know, like, who knows how many orbs of fire, or orb guardians, or Maws of Wrath with orb guardians, which maybe do the berserk before you even have a chance to fear them off, or, you know, all kinds of very disgustingly powerful things that you don't want to deal with, right? So the only question becomes, knowing that, what do we do about this, you know? I just apocalypsed. I didn't really have to, but I'm tired of fooling around on this floor. One of the cool things about worshipping Rue is that I have a chance to just, when a floor is particularly frustrating in the way that it is contested at the staircases, I can just erase everything and say, nope, no more stair dancing, all done. And with D-Chan, well, it still remains quite useful in depths and somewhat useful in Zot. Once I have a couple more spell levels, we're going to get Malign Gateway. Turns out level 7 spells are available. Very available. So, I would rethink my entire spell list, actually, if I had access to Amnesia, which I do not. Anyway, what I was saying was, sorry, I tend to jump away from my train of thought sometimes, but don't worry, I do remember. What I'm saying is that on Zot 5, knowing that you can get sent to the lungs at any moment, what's the optimal way to avoid that? Other than the tedium of excluding every single square or marking every single square, or whatever you want to call it, which doesn't do anything to guarantee you won't hit a Zot trap. Like, what's the method, if there is any? And the best I can figure it is, outside of not going into Zot 5 without level 9 spells, because if you have, like, if you have, like, Firestorm or something, you can probably erase any problems. Outside of that, the answer seems to be 100% of the time, go into Zot 5 with a god that offers a really, really good escape plan. I'm talking Zen, I'm talking Rue, although Rue is not exactly ideal since Apocalypse can only be used the once for a great long while. You could do Eli, I guess, since she has the life-saving thing. You could maybe do Dith, since you get half damage while in shadow form. Probably some others that I'm missing. I'm just kind of rattling these off the top of my head. Zen is clearly best, by the way, for surviving something really obnoxious that the game throws at you, since, I mean, you're about as close to invulnerable as is possible in this game. If you're worshipping Zen and have access to his max piety ability. Actually, I can just look at the gods real quick. Yeah, so Rue, I'm talking active abilities that get you out of some horrible mess. So Rue, Lagonu, since he can send you to the abyss. Kind of Gozag, since you could use Bribe, although I don't think that affects things that are currently on the screen, so not really. Although Potion Petition could help get you out of it, and I don't count that as a panic button, really. Not the kind of panic button that would... Well, maybe. I guess if you had Teleport rolling, you could keep using Potion Petition to heal super fast, but can you heal faster than Orbs of Fire spitting at you? Maybe. Depends on what your character is. I guess Che, technically, you could use for the max level ability that Step from Time, which may or may not leave you next to a bunch of Orb of Fire still. So yeah, really, Eli, Zen, and Rue are really the only options. And that sounds kind of fatalistic, or maybe even a little bit hysterical. But, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I would like to hear a rebuttal to that. What character, or what archetype, I guess? Like, my question is, what I'm really saying here is that not every character is going to be able to survive being dunked into like 5 or 6 Orbs of Fire. You can read Tella, but it takes a long time for it to take effect. So what I'm asking is, how do you, knowing that it's only a matter of time until Zot does that to you, how do you guarantee that you can get out? How do you give yourself a really, really good chance, ideally 100% chance, of getting out alive? The thing about Tella is that even relying on that is, I don't want to say it's a mistake, because you kind of have to. I don't know how else you would get out other than repeated applications of Zen's Sanctuary or a haste potion and a little bit of luck walking on out of there. I mean, you could use a combination of fog, haste, and maybe like ghetto blinking to have a reasonable shot at getting out quickly, but chances are good that your best move is going to be, whoa, that is a lot of stuff. Well, it's just 2 liches, but I shouldn't have wandered right on in. But yeah, chances are good if you're in that situation. You probably just want to teleport and then survive until the teleport kicks in. That seems like it's going to usually be the right option. Probably like teleport, then haste, and then fog, probably. Maybe not necessarily in that order. Some books. I really want to memorize Disjunction. I want to memorize Malign Gateway. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I want. And it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm going to get Malign Gateway, probably. But then I'm going to be out of luck after that, most likely. And that's assuming I get my 2 more spell levels, which I will, because I'm going to level up. And at least the levels will give me that, even if spellcasting doesn't. Okay, fine, I'll just Apocalypse. I should have Animate Dead. That would be a good one. Well, we have Boris here. Honestly, I'm just going to let my guys handle him, if they can. Looks like they're not having much luck. Got him. Well, that's one way to uncontest a stairwell. I'm gonna drop some of this food. Bread, fruit, and royal jellies. A manual. This is the first manual of the game for us. It's a manual of stealth. So that brings our stealth training to plus 12, which is, well, it's insane. But yeah, Iron Shot should carry me through Zot. Probably. I mean, we've got demissile as well, which will save us from half of the, well, roughly half of the Orb of Fire attacks. Since Bolt of Fire is, well, I shouldn't say half. It will possibly protect us from half of them. It has a chance. Just the bolts. Oh no. Oh boy. I was moving really quickly there, and that floating eye actually got to paralyze on me. I could have died there. Thankfully, we have Rue abilities. But wow, that could have been bad. That makes me want to do like a Force More as soon as Floating Eye comes into view. Or maybe just like a Force More on Floating Eyes, although I was hitting Enter a lot there too. That's what I get for moving on autopilot. I hate the fact that these are normal enemies now. It's like they want to make encounters that are normally popcorn into encounters that aren't popcorn. So instead of adding monsters that can stand on their own, they have added a really obnoxious, silly monster that if you make even the slightest mistake around it, you will probably die. Like, we could have died there easily. Thankfully, we were in staff form, but yeah, that was nasty. Anyway, I'm gonna try something. Ring of Wizardry. I just found a Staff of Wizardry, so I'm just curious about something. Shatter at 54% if I wear the ring and the staff. Control blink at 5%. That's pretty cool. None of that matters, of course. Unless I find some amnesia. And there's another one. Like, at what point did these become normal? You know? And what's the justification? Is it to prevent people from spamming tab? Is that even a good goal, I wonder? Just some thoughts. Ooh, spectral caustic strikes. Very quick. Those I can just stand behind if this goes bad. It's starting to go kind of bad, but I think we're okay. Let's put D-Chan back on. Wow, this is not quite working, is it? Okay, we can just punch through the rest of this. I was being a little bit cautious there because I wasn't sure what all was left. Maybe some more floating eyes. Just a joke. Although it could be. You know, you never know. I mean, they've become so common, and this is just anecdotal from the last few games, so take it with a grain of salt, but they seem to have become so common. Like, I see one almost one per depths floor. Like, it almost feels like, based on my last few games perhaps, it feels like maybe there's one per depths floor. I'm not saying that's like literally how that's set up. I'm just saying that's the impression that I've gotten. That's the that is simply the rate at which it seems like it is. Certainly I could be wrong. Maybe I should have gone for Ring of Flames. Unlike Bolt of Fire, although Firestorm didn't spawn. Ignition did. No wait, no it didn't. We could have 3 spell enhancers though if we were using fire, is why I'm saying all that. Okay, so Spectral Yellow Draconian, it only does 16 damage. So these guys are not ideal, but the dragons work pretty well as spectral things. I mean, they were able to, I mean, these guys along with the Stone Giant were able to take down a golden dragon, so that's, you know, they work well enough. It'll let me tear through most of Zot. I'll only have a problem with Orbs of Fire. Possibly Orb Guardians, but not really. But man, if I can just get Malign Gateway online. Oh wait, we have enough spell levels now, so we will have Malign Gateway online. My memorization's interrupted. It would be a real nice thing if we just found like one more Scroll of Amnesia before this is all over. But even if we don't, this character is really, I mean, it has all level 7 spells available to it. Effectively, it just has Malign Gateway, but Malign Gateway along with all this stuff, all this big pile of wonderful spells, I think I'll be okay. I might even be able to, I never tried this, but I might be able to control undead on the death cobs. Wonder if I could do that. Hey, we got the first potion of cancellation. Kind of funny for it to have taken this long to show up. Would have been really nice back in Zot 5, where I got marked and had to dance around a bit. Okay, I want to do Zot, but I also want to pop into the Zig real quick. No heroic measures in here or anything, I just want to pop in and get a little bit of loot. The thing is with Rue, I can really safely do this. And I might get I might even get enough gold for that polearms manual. It's 4,000. But I just got a haste potion that already makes this worth it. I have shadow creatures, which has curious behavior in Ziggs. You get the creatures that are native to that floor, which I think is really cool. Nice. Holy word. I should be running around with Death Channel up, probably. I should not have turned on stat form. This just makes me slower. I'm gonna wait a turn. I really just want to take out this Nekozek, is why I'm saying that. I didn't want to get I did not want to get malmutated, but that didn't happen, so we're okay. Okay, we'll go back to this. D-channel. What a nice dagger for stabbing. I would rather have my anti-magic one, though. If I need to break out a dagger, I'd like to be able to... Well, if it doesn't kill the thing, ruin its magic. I might break out those daggers against Orbs of Fire, although more likely I'll just walk backwards and let my Malign Gateway kill it. Which is, in my opinion, the absolute most optimal way of taking out an Orb of Fire. Undead floors are kind of cute since I can just do this. I can just control undead. And then one at a time they go away. No, not wearing another pair of boots of flying. Alright, we're Arlek. We can just tab this stuff. Any living floor goes down pretty quickly to a character with Death Channel. It's like a steamroll, you know? Once it gets started, it's hard to stop. Fortunately, you can't take these guys with you. That would be kind of neat. I guess I could walk around with D channel up and rest and lose absolutely nothing for doing so. Ooh. Well, that's cute. We had a purple draconian hit me with the whoa. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got disenchanted is what happened. I'm gonna draw a power and I'm gonna go back into staff form. I'm gonna conserve my mana to cast it again if that happens again. It knocked out my death channel and my staff form, but that's okay. Something to keep in mind. I forgot that could happen. Hey, Demon Blade Leech. That's pretty neat. I don't know if I would be using it at all. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, it's just, yeah, I guess I'll carry it around. Why am I trying to pick up a sack of spiders? I can't even use those. We now have 2 manuals, but at least one of them is in something we would rather like to have to be higher. One problem with manuals on a Gnoll, you will be carrying them around for a long time, I imagine. We've had this stealth for quite a while. It's based on how much experience actually goes into the stuff, and well, if you're training everything, well, you can see how that can be an issue. Anyway, we will put this on, put Death Channel on, rest, go down. Panlords. Alright. So we are going to Apocalypse, even if it's only a couple Panlords. In fact, I should have done it as soon as well, the problem is these could have had silence, so I took a big risk by going in here like this. Now, that didn't quite work, now did it? We got Apocalypse, and one's slow and one lost its magic, but that's not the same thing as killing these dudes, for sure. Moderately wounded, heavily wounded. Summon Greater Demon. I have to kill this one. I'm gonna make some shadow creatures real quick. We got a killer clown. I guess that's okay. Okay, this is okay. If I need to... Well, unfortunately, I have no idea if they have silence or not, but if I need to, as long as they don't silence, I can start reading Scrolls of Holy Word. Nice. Some ugly things. That should help a lot. I'm gonna go into staff form and just start doing work. Killer Clown got me slow. Okay. Eldritch Tentacle takes down one of them. And the other one dies too. Sweet. So yeah, even with Apocalypse, it's not necessarily going to be a cakewalk for you to go through these floors. Hey, Amnesia. I want to test something real fast. Just a personal... Okay, never mind. I wanted to see if I could Shadow Creatures Panlords out. Anyway, we're going to Amnesia off Shadow Creatures, and I'll tell you why. It's just not terribly reliable, and we have 6 scrolls of summoning anyway. It gives you weird things. It gives you things that often suck. In Zot, it can be a straight-up liability, because you can end up summoning Moths of Wrath, which will then berserk things like dragons and orb guardians and stuff that you just certainly don't want to be berserked. Something to keep in mind. Alright. This is a good time probably for me to ditch this. For me to ditch this Zig. I should have probably gone a little bit deeper, tried to find another Amnesia for Pog. But that's cool. We have 7 levels left. I really would like one more so I can have Disjunction. But we're going to level up in about 5 seconds. So let's drop this. Let's grab the Disjunction book. And we are going to have Disjunction available to us, which is pretty nice for... That's one of the keys to the puzzle. At least it helps for getting out of a horrible Zot trap problem. If you get sent to like the middle of a lung, having Disjunction helps you get out of that a lot easier than if you didn't have Disjunction. Intelligence. Okay, we're level 27. So these are balanced around having 16 skills by Zot. We did Elf, which is a little bit extra. So we pretty much have 16 skills by Zot. Seems like it's working out. Roughly. Memorize Disjunction. And if we need to use it, we'll drink one of these 5 brilliances. So I'm just going to finish out Zot. I'm going to go ahead and clear it on this character. Mainly because even a little bit of extra experience could help me. Could go a long way. Plus, I kind of want to see if I can finish those manuals. And, on top of all that, if I were to find Amnesia in here, that'd be pretty cool too. Could probably trade Pog for something useful. Should have had D-Chan up this whole time. Okay. Zot 1's done. Zot 2. Just punch this dude. Put on D-Chan. I'm actually going to Iron Shot some of this stuff. Kind of hoping that it would go through everything and hit that Annihilator. I am quite concerned about Annihilators. One thing that turns me away from stat form is the slowness of it is very bad for not getting completely hosed by Iron Shot. We use Fear to get that Moth of Wrath away. D-Chan is doing some work. You know, I always thought the Death Channel kind of leveled off in usefulness, but not really. It's pretty handy in here. I don't think it would be terribly useful against an Orb of Fire, but maybe do some damage, you know, before it gets, you know, burned to death. Wow, okay. Well, I've just solved personal mystery, personal question. You can, in fact, you can control Death Cobs, which seems to me to be insanely powerful. I'm gonna grab this Scroll of Immolation. You know what? Let's head back up. Just for a second. I'm gonna tell you why. I just wanna... What? That's not the shop. Yeah. I wanna grab this stuff. Potion, Holy Word. I saw that there was a Holy Word available, which seems like a small thing, but it's actually really good. Really, really good for the Orb Run. Maybe even good in Zot if we have some Greater Lich problems, so having a nice fat stack of those is pretty cool. It's not something that usually happens in my experience. Okay, Zot 3. This floor I might not fully explore. Just because it's the elevator. I mean, I'm just kind of screwing around here a little bit. Enjoy the cob, guys. The reason I'm doing this is, well, number one, for experience, and number two, I wanted to check out a few of the items on here. If I can, if they're right next to the staircase, it's kind of like, why not? Would be nice if I had a few more spots in my inventory. Hey! Amnesia. Goodbye, Pog. You won't be castable ever again. However, now that I'm thinking about it, we only have 4 spell levels, so I can't imagine what could possibly be worth getting that's only 4 spell levels, other than maybe Animate Dead. What I would really like to have is actually Dragon Form, for the purposes of Orb of Fire. But we have Malign Gateway, so we're fine. Don't think I forgot about it. It is good. I can get up to my old tricks of just casting it and walking away from things. By the way, there are probably Orbs of Fire in this lake. I don't think I've ever seen a lava lake quite that big. But if it's the vault I'm thinking of, I don't think I've seen a lava lake that big in Zot. But if it's the one I'm thinking of, it has 3 orbs of fire in it. Maybe not. Yeah, probably not. This is just a generic downstairs vault, although it could have them in there. My favorite thing about these little elevator vaults, tiny little things, is that they make excellent places to rest. Okay, let's make this Eldritch Tentacle. I'm just gonna let it kill this stuff, honestly. I really just want this floor clear. At this point, I think I've stopped caring about the experience, really. I said I wanted it, but eh. Seems odd to place so many fire elementals here on a floor where they're undoubtedly going to be popcorn. I guess it's just for flavor. Yeah, it's just a fire-themed vault. I mean, like, this is just kind of silly in a Freet and fire elementals. I mean, it's neat for flavor or whatever, but I don't see why you wouldn't just put this somewhere other than Zot, somewhere where it's meaningfully challenging, where you could do the same thing and put some orbs of fire in there. Just a personal opinion on vault design. Really minor pet peeve, though. Alright. Here we are. In the no fun allowed chamber. I'm gonna stick the staff on, and I have Apocalypse. I am just gonna auto-explore. I think this character can survive if it gets dunked. I have 1 haste, which is good enough. I have fogs, I have summonings, I have holy words, I have disjunction. You know, things can be done. Seem to have picked something up. Filling up my inventory a bit. You know what? We're gonna drop Scroll of Vulnerability. I've been holding that forever, and it just occurred to me I have no reason for it. I don't have hexes. I don't even have any hex spells. I certainly can't use wands. Okay. I actually don't want to be in stat form. Seems like paradoxical to a degree, but considering that that's something that does torment, but I want to be able to attack quickly. Yeah, go ahead and torment me, that's fine. I'll go up. What exactly is this? Stormcaller? Yeah, I suppose that if I were to get teleported into the Zot chamber, well, into a lung. And there was a curse toe there that immediately tormented me, then we would have a serious issue. So I shouldn't say that this character can just handle it, because it can't. Actually, that's really upsetting to think about, that, like, the level of preparation you actually need to do Zot guaranteed. Because for me, I'm always trying to figure out ways to do things in a guaranteed fashion in this game. Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna have to give it some thought, but I am beginning to think that you really should just roll in here with Zen every time. Like, I may add, and I realize how goofy this probably sounds, but I may add on non-root characters like a section where I just do nothing but scum Abyss for piety and scum off the Trog. Scum off the Trog. Wrath. If I'm worshipping Trog, if I do a Berserker, I mean. Okay, let's get away from this stuff. I'm gonna disjunct. This has gotten kind of ugly, so we're gonna leave. Funnily enough, no Staff of Energy this entire game, as far as I can tell. Pretty much every other staff, but not energy. Not the one we wanted. And that can happen. Never bank on finding a particular item. If you are doing that, you're probably making a mistake. You know, despite my training, the staff doesn't seem to be doing anything special. I was always curious about the Staff of Earth, because it says it crushes those hit by it. I'm just not sure if I believe it. I put on Pro Fire because I saw an orb of fire wandering around. Hey, let's let this orb of fire, let's let him die to the tentacle while we throw iron shots at him. Did not get mutated from that, that's good. I'm gonna put on Pro Magic. We can still be paralyzed. So I've got to put on this axe for more Pro Magic. I guess we can just walk away. Can we get a kill? We cannot. I should have used... I messed up. I'm going to draw power real fast. Should have used this. And that's how you kill an Ancient Lich. Just cheese it. Cheese it with summons. let's walk away from this. Make this dude. Force the tentacle to, or force the lich to walk through my tentacle, basically. Looks like there must be a lot of teleporters inside the lungs themselves, so that's cool. Seems like we're quite good at killing those things in melee, which shouldn't really surprise you. Stat form's amazing. Why don't we go ahead and run over to this food shop real quick. Okay. Just in case. I'm going to do this 3 times, searching through here. 2... Come on. There we go. Actually, it was a very bad mistake. I could have gotten paralyzed there. Only 1% chance, though. Alright, and 3. Gonna shout at this dude. We're going to wear my hand axe with MR++. He didn't follow me because my stealth is really good. There we go. And he dies to the tentacle. Let's keep the hand axe on, I guess. Unless I'm fighting something that doesn't have MR targeting abilities like this. Nice. Iron Shot does the job. We got nuked by this. Armor fits poorly in your strangely-shaped body. That I don't care about, but this I sure do in here. Let's get rid of that immediately. Darn, we lost heat resistance and we're still teleportitis. Still teleportitis. And we have horns, which took away my helmet. Horns went away. Now we're frail and we're teleported next to monsters. Jeez, come on. Okay, 6th one. Unbelievable. Teleportitis stays through 6 potions of mutation. Oh, man. So this is pretty horrible. I'm honestly tempted to contaminate myself and get all kinds of horrible mutations just to get this thing off. Not a joke. Very serious. I'm looking for minus Tella. Oh no. Well, that sucks. That just really sucks. We managed to get the worst possible mutation, and 6 mutation potions didn't take it off. That is some bad luck. I don't think it's the end. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think we can still do this. Even if we get teleported inside, we've already cleared out a significant portion. A large number of ancient liches. I think what needs to happen is I need to go in there as soon as possible. And spend as little time on the floor as possible. Unfortunately, I will have to wait for this thing to go away every so often. But anytime I need to heal my mana, we'll go to the other floor. Man, this is so dangerous. I want to ghetto blink here, honestly. But I'm going to try just regular blinking. Nice, it worked. At least I'm heat resistant. Oh wait, no I'm not. I'm only heat resistant because of my ring now. There it is. There's the first yank. Let's see what we can do to fight this stuff. I'm going to use Disjunction. I'm going to save my mana. I'm going to use Javelins. Disjunction again. I see that the game has seen fit to give me some nets at this late hour. Please blink me across. I want to go home. By home, I mean upstairs. Every blink could take me into a Zot trap, which does suck. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to walk. I don't care if this thing is here. Just want to get my mana back safely, so we rest down here. Now we go back in. I'm going to be honest, I'm not having a great time. Having teleportitis on Zot 5 is a little nerve-wracking, but it looks like we've cleared out a lot of the nastiness. And you know, we're pretty well equipped as far as spells go. I mean, if I had to deal with this on any character, a character with Disjunction and Malign Tentacle would be the way I would want to go. I might prefer it to be something like an ogre with a lot more hit points. Hey, look at that. We did blunder into a Zot trap eventually. Quite a few Orb Guardians here. But you know what? Stat form should be able to take them out really easily. Yep. Won't take much damage in stat form. Well, high spell power stat form. Let's get to the Zot 4. Okay, this sucks. We're being blocked. I'm going to use resistance. Okay, we got him. Please don't teleportitis me. Okay, good. How about that 6 mutation potions, though? Kinda goes to show that under the new system, you might just be saddled with a really bad mutation forever. Which I guess was the intent? Maybe? Hard to say. So we all know teleportitis really sucks, right? You know what it's like particularly bad in? It's particularly bad in the orb run. That's gonna be a tough cookie. Hopefully it doesn't hit us too hard. But on the other hand, this character is very good at, well, everything, so I should be fine. Needles, at this point, especially since I found that manual of throwing, should do quite a bit of work against panlords. Okay, the floor is clear. All we really have to do now is to grab the orb and get out of here. 1 potion of haste. Would like to have more. That's what we're working with. Got some agility and might if need be. Yeah, we've got a pretty good array of stuff to work with here. Gonna want to use up those summonings early and often because they will be useless once we get out of depths. We have APOC. That's our biggest ace in the hole. And that's the main reason I can't complain too much, because APOC will get me out of problems. I'm going to walk around with MR+++ and R Fire. I could have another pip of RF. Actually, I'll walk around with a lot of RF. Or, excuse me, I'll walk around with a lot of MR, Magic Resistance. And the reason for that is something bad could happen. Now I have the best of all worlds. I can't be surprised with a paralysis or something. Well, unless there's a Panlord that ends up summoning a Floating Eye. God, I hope Floating Eyes can't just show up by themselves during the orb run. I haven't seen that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added it. But there are Panlords that can summon those, so through the Summon Eye spell, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, enough talk. We're already over an hour in, so let's do this orb run. Okay, I actually make it out of Zot 5 with no problem. There is a single dude here. But again, no problem. Just keep walking. Okay, here's our first problem. Our first real problem. The answer here is to fog. And do that. Interesting. Gonna be using up a lot of my fog today. Tentacle killed the Tormentor. Oddly enough, didn't seem to kill the Shadow Fiend, but you know, I don't care if it's dead or not. I just care if I survive. Thankfully, this Panlord didn't cast anything. Is he going to reach me? Yes, he is. So let's just disjunct. Send him away. Disjunction is... it's the spell. for the orb run. Oh, come on. Took me 3 javelins to kill that Hellion. Which, it happens, you know. Okay, this dude I am just going to walk away from. He's speed 10, so we're good. This one, I'm going to take the staircase that the RNG, or rather the algorithm, the walking algorithm determined was not optimal. But I'd rather get off the floor without fighting something than take the totally optimal path. Boom! We're out. Awesome. So, yeah, that's the run. So that was my first Neo-Gnoll game with the +8 aptitudes, hard-locked to train everything at the same time with not locked stats. But yeah, I like them. I think they're pretty good. I think that they're surprisingly balanced. I don't think that they were terribly overpowered at the end or underpowered at the beginning. I think that it was surprisingly smooth run. Now this is just one run. I can't really judge it based on a single run, but you know, preliminary, I think it was pretty good. I would kind of like to see how they play as a mage, like as a book start. That might be a little rougher. I chose Artificer because it's just a good start and lets you really easily go with whatever the game sends you. It might be fun. Probably the most fun thing to do would be to play a Wanderer. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of this run except for the very end with the teleportitis. That was kind of spooky, but you know, surprisingly, we didn't end up getting boned by it really hard. We only got the one tele, and it wasn't that bad. We didn't end up using needles during the orb run, which surprises me. Didn't really have any panlords that got close to me. There was the one, but he didn't get close. But you know, disjunction will keep that from happening. Like if he had gotten close, I would have probably just disjuncted him out of there. So it's a good spell, and it is kind of cool that you can end up casting level 8 spells on a Gnoll. I think it's fair that you can end up casting level 8 spells because I probably wouldn't have been able to do that unless I was wearing a robe. I saw somebody else did a Gnoll right as soon as they got changed of Che, and somebody had commented on Reddit that it was able to cast level 8 spells in like chainmail, so that was overpowered, but that's on Che. You know, that's kind of a special case. So, but yeah, try them out if they haven't changed by the time I actually publish this video. If they have, then this review is pointless. But I think they're going to stay in this iteration for a while. If I had to guess, I suspect that this is the iteration of Gnolls that'll make it. It seems balanced to me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time I'm going to get back to the Berserker series. Not really sure what kind of Berserker, but we'll do a fun one. Until then, though, I am signing out.